Hello everyone. In my previous video, I have discussed the last element of directing, that is communication. We have seen what communication is and then the process of communication and the forms of communication. So communication is the process of, or communication is exchange of ideas, information, instructions, knowledge. So within two person or more than two person by using some means. Okay. Now communication, how to make a communication effective? See, a communication is called effective when it is understandable by the receiver, or the receiver understands, or when the information reaches the receiver in the same manner as it was intended by the sender. That means the message which the sender wants to communicate, if it reaches the receiver in the same manner, having the same meaning if he has understood, this is called effective communication. Now there are certain barriers to effective communication which I am going to discuss today. So barriers to communication means, because of these barriers, because of these misrepresentation, interruptions or disturbances, what happens? Communication is ineffective. Means the receiver is not getting the message, or receiver the message do not reach the receiver in the same manner as it was intended by the sender. So this is what barriers to effective communication. Now there are four barriers: semantic barriers, psychological barrier, organizational barriers and personal barrier. Now first one, starting with the first barrier, that is semantic barrier. Semantic barriers is barrier related to or because of the words and the languages used. Okay, so see, same thing can be understood by different people differently. Why? Because it depends upon the understanding level of the people. Okay, so that is why a particular sentence or a particular thing is understood differently by different people. So semantic barrier is related with the words, the languages used, and it depends on the understanding of the level of the employees or people, understanding level of the people. So this is what semantic barrier is. Now there are 6 types of semantic barrier. First is badly expressed messages. This means, suppose the sender is having, he is not having sufficient vocabulary, he is unable to express himself, he is unable to use appropriate words or the required words. So then the message will be expressed badly. So it is due to lack of vocabulary. Now next is symbols with different meanings, like right and right. So these are the words which when you pronounce it, the sound is same but they have different meaning. Suppose the superior is saying right. Okay. Now the subordinate understands that okay, he's praising me, so saying okay, you are right. But the superior was saying right what I am saying, right. Then principal and principal. Now suppose the instruction was, you should always follow the principle, and what the students, suppose it is given in a school that you should follow the principle. Now the student understood that they should follow the principle. So this is what? Symbols with different meaning. Then next is faulty translation. That means when the message is not translated properly because of some problems in the language, if the message is not translated properly, that is faulty translation. Then comes unclarified assumptions. What is the meaning of this? Suppose the superior gave instruction to the subordinate that take care of the goods. Now the meaning of the manager was that you should take care of the goods, means he was expecting the worker to take care of the quality of the goods. But what the worker understood, he understood that he has to take care of the goods means to keep the goods safely. So that is unclarified assumptions. He assumed that the manager wants him to keep the goods safe, but the manager was trying to communicate that you should see the quality of the goods. Now technical jargons means using some, the experts, they use some technical knowledge which the worker is unable to get. Like suppose it was said that EBIT this year is 20%. Now many people, they don't understand the meaning of EBIT, earning before interest and tax. Okay, so this is use of technical word which is not understandable by everyone. So that is technical jargon. Then comes body language and gesture decoding. That means I am saying something but my body language is not according to my words. Like I am saying I am very happy today. I am very sad, I am looking very sad, but I am saying I am very happy today. So that means the people, the person in front of me will not be able to understand whether I am sad or I am happy. That means my words are not matching with my body language, my gesture. So these are semantic barriers which are related with words, languages. Okay, coming to the next barrier. So the next barrier or the second barrier is psychological barrier. Psychological means related with mind. Okay, so this barrier depends on the mind or the state of mind of the receiver as well as the sender. So suppose a person is very frightened, okay, when he is communicating, he won't be able to communicate properly. And if a receiver is very angry, he is not listening to anything. So he will not receive the message which was given by the sender. So this barrier is due to the state of mind or the thinking of the sender as well as receiver. So in this we have four types of barrier, psychological barrier. First is premature evaluation. Premature evaluation means before listening to the complete information, complete communication, when we derive the conclusion, when we jump to the conclusion before listening the complete message, that is called premature evaluation. Means what? Suppose your father says that, come my dear son, I want to discuss a very important topic with you. What you will say? Okay, I know, you will say something about my studies, my result, my performance only. But maybe your father was going to talk to you, discuss with you something related to, something not related with the studies, but something related to your household work or something else. But before listening to the complete sentence, you jump to the conclusion because your mind was not open. Okay, and you have this happens when a person is having some personal prejudice about the other person. So this is premature evaluation, that is jumping to the conclusion, okay, without listening to the complete message. Next is lack of attention. This happens when a person is preoccupied with something. Okay, now suppose a worker is giving some suggestions to the manager, but the manager was busy with some other work, very important work, so he is not paying attention to whatever the worker is saying. So that is preoccupied with something. So manager, maybe he is doing some very important work, so he is not paying attention to what the worker is saying, or this happens because of extreme emotions also. Okay, a person is very sad, he is demotivated, he will not listen to whatever is said to him. So that is lack of attention. Then comes loss by transmission and poor retention. This is a message follows various levels in the organization. So during this transmission, some messages are lost, and because of poor retention, if proper message is not retained and then not transferred, passed on to the other level, this barrier happens there. Now the distrust. Distrust means there is distrust between the sender and the receiver, and because of this distrust between these two persons, the receiver is not paying attention, receiver is not giving attention to the message which is being sent to him by the sender. So these are the four types of psychological barrier. So the third barrier is organizational barrier. That means, as the name suggests, organizational barrier is related to the organization's organizational structure, authority relationship, then rules and regulations of the organization. So this barrier is because of the organization structure. Okay. Then authority relationship between the people in the organization and the rules and regulations the organization is having. It also creates barriers sometimes. Now we'll see how. First is organizational policy. See, if the company is following centralized what? Centralized policy the company is having. That means all the important information will be there at the top level. So that is organizational policy. So to have centralized type of system. Now there the information is always with the top management, and the lower level they cannot communicate freely with the top management. Then we have rules and regulations of the organization. See, in this, suppose the rules and regulation of the organization, it restricts the flow of information. So this leads to red tapeism or delay in decision making. Okay, delay in decision. So these are the causes of rules and regulations of an organization. Then status difference. See, the senior employees, the top level employee, if suggestions are given by the middle level or lower level, they feel that I am senior, I know everything about my job. Who is he to give me these suggestions or give me this information? I know everything about this particular department or this job. So because of status difference, people don't receive the message, people don't communicate freely with the people having lower status in the organization. Then complex organization is if the organization is very complex and the message, the information is flowing from through different levels, then it gets filtered, it gets distorted within the process of transmission of information. So complex organization also act as a barrier to communication, effective communication. Then last one is organizational facilities. Suppose organization, they are providing facilities like complaint box, or they are organizing social gatherings or social get-togethers. Then this will do what? This will help in effective communication. But if organization is not providing complaint box facility, then there is no get-togethers and all in the organization. It creates a barrier in the effective communication. So these are organizational barrier. Then the last barrier is personal barrier. Now personal means related to personal factors of sender and receiver. So there are four types of personal barrier. First is lack of confidence of superior in his subordinate. So it is clear that the superior is not having faith or trust or confidence over the subordinates. So that is why he is not accepting any information from a particular subordinate. So this is the personal barrier. Because of his personal thinking, he is having no trust, no faith on the subordinate. So he is creating a barrier in communication here. Then lack of incentive. See, if good suggestions are given by the worker and that is and he is not been acknowledged for that, so he will resist in giving these suggestions, opinion for improvement of the production process. Like I'll give example of Steel Authority of India. There what happens, when the worker, they give suggestions for improvement in the production method or for reducing cost or whatever it is. If they give some good suggestions and if that is implemented in the organization, they are being rewarded, they are given incentive for that. Like incentive in the way of certificate, that is non-financial incentive. They are given some gifts, some vouchers, sometimes cash prizes also. So these are the incentives given to the worker, and this motivate them to give suggestions, to communicate freely with the superior. Then comes fear of authority. Now in fear of authority, sometimes superior, they don't pass information to the subordinate because they are having fear that they will lose their authority over the subordinate. If they will give all important information to the subordinate, maybe their authority will reduce. So if they are having this type of fear within them, they will not communicate freely with the subordinates. Then last one is unwillingness to communicate. Sometimes employees in the organization, they feel that if I'll communicate or if I'll pass on this information, maybe it will negatively affect my interest. So if they are thinking in this way that it is going to affect me indirectly or my interest will be affected, I will be negatively affected because of this, then there will be unwillingness to communicate in the organization. So these are the 4 types of personal barrier. These barriers are very important. Surely you will get question in your board exams from this particular part. So with this, this was the last part of directing chapter. With this, I have completed directing. Okay. So in my next video, I'll come up with the next chapter, that is controlling. Thank you.